Well, see,
Hey, Charlie.
let's talk.
It's the right talk.
Charlie?
Welcome. This is the Charlie James Show.
Now we're talking.
News Talk 98.9,
WORD.
the voice of the Carolinas.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Oh, beautiful for spacious skies, for amber waves of grain, for purple mountain majesties above the fruited plain. America, America, God shed His grace on thee, and crown thy good with brotherhood from sea to shining sea.
America is back.
All right, we are certainly getting there. Let's go to the phones. We'll talk to Sean in Greer. Sean, welcome to the program. Hope you're doing well.
I'm doing fine.
Yes, sir.
Hey, is Miss Evans still with you?
No, we only had her on
No.
for the hour. Yeah.
I listened to her. I thought it was
Yeah.
very impressive. I have a 21-year-old daughter that's in college right now. She's met her a couple of times, and
Mhm.
I've kind of been a fan of hers. But I would like to know what she's going to do about diminishing the typical Republican Party in our state and enhancing and strengthening the Freedom Caucus. That's really what I want to know.
See,
I'm a little concerned.
Yeah,
I'm a
I
little
understand, and
concerned.
I did ask her that question, not as like you put it, but I did ask her that question, and she said, and this is one of those things that everybody's got to talk with everybody, but I don't see nobody's pointing the finger at who is not doing the talking, and that's the Republican caucus in Columbia. They're the ones that aren't doing the talking.
I agree completely, and that's my issue with it.
Yeah.
We got to get rid of the Shane Masseys. We got to get rid of
Yeah.
Lindsey Graham. We got to get rid of Troy Gowdy. We got to get rid of all these Republicans that are out there expressing Democrat ideas. And I didn't hear that from her, and that's what I want to know from her when you talk to her again, or if she's hearing this, or she could call back in. Let me know what we're going to do about promoting the Freedom Caucus and getting rid of this traditional Republican Party that seems to vote Democrat. We love President Trump, and we know that he supported Lindsey Graham. We know that he supported, Governor McMaster. We know all that stuff, but we don't want those people representing us.
It's
I would like to
amazing,
hear-
Sean.
I would love to hear President Trump just tell us, hey, what's the value in Lindsey Graham? Because we don't like him. He doesn't represent our values.
Well,
Same thing with Shane Massey.
unfortunately, Trump needs Lindsey right now. But here's what here's a weird thing. We in South Carolina, we shouldn't even need a Freedom Caucus, right?
I hear you.
Our state legislature should be so chock full of absolute hardcore conservatives that when somebody came up and said, we're going to start the Freedom Caucus, they'd be like, why? We're the most conservative people you've ever met. What, are you going to get more conservative than us? But we actually need them because
We
of the
need
way
the
that our
Freedom
state,
Caucus,
yeah,
because
absolutely.
obviously, look at what happened with Governor McMaster.
Yeah.
He did not want to have this redistrict. I mean, he didn't want that. I'm assuming President Trump had to apply some pressure for us to be in the situation right now where we are considering redistricting.
Yeah.
No citizen or no politician in the state of South Carolina should be thinking about we need District 6 to stay in Democratic control.
Right, which is
The
exactly what
citizens, the most important
Shane Massey is saying. We need them. What did Shane Massey say?
No, we don't.
I know. Shane Massey said that a vibrant, what do they say? A vibrant and vital Democrat Party is good for South Carolina.
And if we thought that, the citizens of South Carolina would have 6 districts that are Democratic.
Exactly. Oh,
We need to
you
get
put
rid of
that,
the cancer
Sean.
that
You're
is
exactly
district.
right. Exactly right. If we thought that, we would
You have a
vote
great
that
day,
way.
Charlie.
I appreciate you, Sean. Thank you very much. Yeah, he's exactly right. Coming up in just a few minutes, we're going to be talking with Representative William Timmons. Iran has issued some I really don't know who's in control over there. We think it's probably the IRGC. Want you to listen to this. Iran has made some pretty outrageous demands.
Clock is still ticking. President Trump giving Iran a few extra days to reach a deal. The president said in a post on Truth Social overnight he had planned to launch an attack against Iran today, but held off at the request of Gulf leaders. He said in part on Truth Social, I've instructed Secretary of War Pete Hegseth, the chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff General Daniel Kaine, and the United States military that we will not be doing the scheduled attack of Iran tomorrow, but have further instructed them to be prepared to go forward with a full, large-scale assault of Iran on a moment's notice in the event that an acceptable deal is not reached. The timeline here remains the biggest question. The Israeli military remains on high alert, and the U.S. military buildup across the region is growing each day.
So what does Iran want? Listen to this. They want us, the United States of America, to pay them reparations. That's right. That's right. We're going to pay them. We're going to have to pay them. Then they want us to lift the sanctions. Then, if that's not enough, they want us to allow them to continue their enrichment of plutonium. Yeah, I will guarantee you are 0 for 3 in those requests, Iran. No, that's not going to, especially the uranium part. That's the big part right there. There's no way we're going to allow you to enrich uranium in Iran. You've already got it at 60%. And in case you're wondering, there is no civilian application that requires uranium to be enriched to 60%. There's zero. The only thing you need 60% enriched uranium for is to take it up to 90%, or however you need to take it up, to make it military grade, nuclear weapons grade. That's it. Let's go to Scott in Woodruff. Scott, welcome.
Yes, I would like to comment on the last 20 minutes of Pamela Yvette, which is all I heard.
Okay.
But all I heard was a bunch of hot air, like a typical rhino Republican. I did not hear any specific ideas or plans to solve any problems, and I did not hear her talk about what the plan is to combat Muslim taking over our country.
Okay. All right. I appreciate it, Scott. I don't know what we'll do about that, but we'll save that for a little bit later on. We got to take a quick break here because coming up, we've got Congressman William Timmons. He's on a very tight schedule. We'll be right back. It's the Charlie James Show. News Talk 98.9 WORD, the voice of the Carolinas.
Keeping Carolina conservative. It's the Charlie James Show.
News Talk 98.9 WORD, the voice of the Carolinas.
All right.
Charlie Speaks. You listen on your time. Get the show on demand. Text podcast to 800-905-0989. The Charlie James Show on News Talk 98.9 WORD.
The voice of the Carolinas.
All right, welcome back to the program. Lots going on in Washington, D.C. Let's talk with Congressman William Timmons. Congressman, hope you're doing well, sir.
Charlie, good afternoon. Good to be with you. Thanks for having me on.
You got a busy night, but we'll get to that in just a second. There's a bill out there called the 21st Century Road to Housing Act. And it was, I guess it was a couple of years ago, I was telling people that we had all of these housing industry folks that were buying up single-family homes and really pricing the average American out of a lot of these homes. Does the 21st Century Road to Housing Act take care of that or help?
It does. And it was one of the main drivers behind this. So actually, a lot of foreign investors were doing this, and they were just pricing people out of the market. And so this removes institutional investors' ability to compete with everyday Americans, and it's a huge step in the right direction. But it also streamlines permitting. It addresses regulation. It really just addresses the underlying issue of affordability as it relates to housing, and it's going to increase the supply. And we had a long road to get here, but we got it done, and it seems like everybody's on the same page now, so it's exciting.
Well, that is always a good thing. Some people that aren't on the same page, reconciliation, getting border security funded. Apparently, the House Parliament or the Senate parliamentarian is not going to allow this in a reconciliation bill. Where are we standing on this now?
I think it's a moving target. Some of the things have gotten in, some of the things have not been approved, and this is really a work in progress. But we're going to get it done one way or the other. It does seem that a number of the disgruntled senators are not in favor of the ballroom funding. So, I think after Cassidy's loss a few days ago, he's no longer going to be supportive of much. But
right.
That's probably to be expected. But, if you're going to be a loser, at least be a better loser.
There you go. So, I mean, we're hearing that this thing is not just a ballroom. What we're hearing is this thing goes 6 stories down.
I have not been in any classified briefing, but I have a feeling it's more than just a party room.
Yeah. I think it's much more than that, and I think it has a lot to do with national security as well. But you got a big picnic to go to tonight. Is this? I mean, what kind of an affair is this, where Republicans and Democrats get together outside of Congress and they're actually interacting with each other? Is it awkward at all?
It's not. Most of the Democrats don't come, and the ones that do are actually pretty pleasant. So, it'll be good. The president's set to speak at 7:15. They've closed down almost every road anywhere near the White House, which is unusual. So that's going to be interesting to see what is driving that decision. So, you will have at least hundreds of members of Congress and most of the cabinet at the White House South Lawn. And, my recollection from years past is that the ice cream bar, there's a massive ice cream bar. That's the highlight for me.
Yeah, I would imagine. And tomorrow, I believe, is the congressional softball game, right? Baseball game.
The congressional baseball game is going to be
that's June 10th. That's June 10th.
June 10th. Yeah. And we've been practicing. It's really, truly incredible. There's probably like 50 practices at 5:30 in the morning prior to this game. And, I mean, it really is brutal. I don't understand how they do it. I go to probably about a half dozen of them. I'm the runner for the Republicans, and all that requires is for me to run from base to base, and I'm actually very good at that. So they don't make me go to all the practices to make sure that I can catch and hit. But it's very fun, and anybody that's bored June 10th, come to D.C. It's a great affair. There's like 40,000 people. We play at Nat Stadium.
Wow,
pretty incredible.
Yeah, absolutely. Iran has sent back a list of demands. They want reparations. They want to continue with their uranium enrichment. Where are we standing right now? President Trump says he's hoping something's going to be done, but we're ready to go at a moment's notice. What are you hearing in Washington?
I think that this is going to come to a head soon. I think we're going to either resolve it diplomatically or we're going to resolve it militarily, but it will be resolved in the next coming weeks. So I would just say stay tuned. Everything's on the table, and we have the negotiator in chief making sure that we get the best deal possible.
Yeah.
He did write the art of the deal.
That's right. He is the art of the deal, so we'll see what happens with that. Congressman Timmons, I know you got to get to the picnic. Appreciate you joining us this afternoon. Take a selfie of you at the ice cream bar.
Will do. Thank you, my friend. Be well.
Appreciate it. Thank you very much, Congressman William Timmons. But that's just it. So because John Thune over in the Senate is, I don't know, what's the word I'm looking for? Worthless? Absolutely worthless? An obstructionist? Because of that, we can't get the Save America Act passed. And not only that, we can't get funding for ICE and Border Patrol. John Thune is sitting there letting the Democrats win this thing. The Democrats are telling you what they're going to do when they get back in power. They're telling, it's not like it's going to be a big secret. It's not like if the Democrats get back in power in the Senate, we're going to go, oh, I didn't see that. I had no idea they were going to do that. No, they're telling you exactly what they're going to do. Exactly. And they're not going to stop. They're going to pack the Supreme Court. That's what they want to do. Don't know how many Supreme Court justices we're looking at, but there is an idea that's being floated around there that every state should have their own Supreme Court justice. Could you imagine having 50 Supreme Court justices? Probably give D.C. one as well, just to make it 51, break a tie. Speaking of D.C., they want to make Washington, D.C. a state, granted statehood. Really? Not only do they want to give statehood to Washington, D.C., they want to give it to Puerto Rico. And then, why is it by, any great stretch of the imagination to imagine that they want to do away with the filibuster? Well, that's going to be the first thing that they do in order to get everything else passed. This is what infuriates me about somebody like Lindsey Graham, who's coming out with all of these ads talking about, we're going to ban sanctuary cities. And no, you're not. You're not going to do it. You're not going to do it. You're not going to do it. John Thune is going to allow the Democrats to block any bill that Lindsey Graham puts up about doing away with sanctuary cities. So, Lindsey, if you want that legislation passed, you need to do away with the filibuster. Period. We'll be right back. It's the Charlie James Show. News Talk 98.9 WORD, the voice of the Carolinas.
Hey, it's Tara. I do the homework and give you the facts every morning starting at 6 on The Tara Show, only on News Talk 98.9 WORD, the voice of the Carolinas.
Tap and type your message on the Common Sense Retirement Planning text line.
800-905-0989. This is the Charlie James Show on News Talk 98.9 WORD.
The voice of the Carolinas.
All right, let's go to the WRD talk line. We'll talk to Todd in Franklin. How you doing, Todd?
Hey, Charlie. I
What's
hope
up?
you can hear me okay.
Yes, sir.
I'm down here in Georgia now, man. It took a long time to get all to you, so I kept driving.
What part of Georgia are you in?
Well, I come down here to Toccoa.
Okay.
But
yeah.
I'm from Franklin. You got places up here in Western Carolina, too, as I understand.
There you go. What's up, man?
Man, listen. We got to have some help up here in Western Carolina. We got no radio stations other than you guys down here, but we barely picked you guys up. We
Right.
got, we got Cooper, and we don't want him for the center, man. We want Watley up here, but there's nobody, no radio, nothing up here happening, man. How can we help? You guys got your shit going on.
Whoa,
but
hey.
we don't have no
yeah.
help up here.
Okay. I appreciate it, Todd. Thank you very, very much. Yep. Can't let that slip by. Look, we're doing what we can. I know you are. I mean, you got a couple of good places up there in North Carolina, but your big one in Charlotte, I mean, they weenie out. They are. So we're going up to Mooresville. This was a few months ago. So we're going up through Mooresville. So I'm going to listen to this, the big station there in Charlotte. Let's listen to them. There was a guy on there literally for an hour talking about bicycles. And I said, what is this? What is it? Where? I'm not even kidding. No, I'm not even joking. I'm talking about bicycles. Well, what is it? What do you think is the Schwinn? Do you remember? Did you have a Schwinn with a banana seat? On the little tiny front. It was a 3-speed. I had a 3-speed Schwinn, and it had the streamers on it, and had the sissy bar in the back, and had the stripe on the seat. You remember those? They were great. And boy, and I was like, wait a minute, hold on. This is the time. This is the time that people are like, hey, what's going on in our state? Hey, what's going on in our county council? What's going on in our city council? What the heck's going on around here? And they're talking about the Schwinn with a 3-speed. Did it have a bell? Did it have a bell in a little basket with some Gerber daisies in it? Did it have all of that? Maybe so. So, sorry, guys, up there in North Carolina, but we're doing our best down here. I guarantee you that. The best to let you know exactly what the Democrats are trying to do. Let's go to, I believe it's Linda in Union. How you doing, Linda?
I'm doing fine.
All right.
And thank you for all you're doing up there. It's great.
Oh, thank you.
But I wanted to talk to you about Miss Pamela.
Okay.
She was talking about getting rid of the income tax.
Yeah.
I know that's exciting to a lot of people, but you may want to think that through.
Okay.
If they get rid of income tax, what are they going to tax you on? Property tax will go through the roof.
But here,
and everything, and a lot of other. Pardon?
No, I was just about to say, Florida was able to get rid of both.
Yes, but Texas has, as far as I know, is still not very good about that kind of stuff. And they've had all kinds of problems. And with our government here, I don't trust them to do anything right.
Why, Linda? I don't know why. I don't know why you wouldn't trust those people in Columbia to have your best interest at heart. What have they ever done to you?
I didn't vote for rhinos.
I know, exactly right. But somehow we've got an enclave full of them. You're right, Linda. I appreciate it. Thank you. So whenever these people start talking about this stuff, remember, there's always a yin and a yang. There's a good and a bad. I don't know. Now, when all of them, and basically all of them, with a few exceptions, are talking about doing away with the state income tax. So where is the money going to come from? Where's the money going to come from? Sales tax? Is it going to come from, like Linda said, property tax? Is it going to come from, what is it? Is it going to come from fees in lieu of taxes? That's what I want to know. That's why when I asked the question about doing away with the income tax, what do we replace it with? Because we got to have money to run the state. Now, Florida is able to do it because literally everybody wants to move there. And we're in a pretty good position here in South Carolina where we are, I believe, the fastest growing state in the Southeast. We increased by 1% last year? 1%? That's a pretty good clip. So if we start looking at that and we start looking, so we bring more people in. All right, we bring more people in. Our roads are already crumbling. What are you going to do about those? Our infrastructure is crumbling. What are you going to do about those? I don't know. I literally, now, like Linda said, it sounds like a great idea to completely do away with the state income tax. But in application, would it be the best thing? I've heard several arguments on both sides. Now, the first thing we need to do is we need to get rid of the spending. The Freedom Caucus, it was, gosh, I think time's flying by so fast. I believe it was back in January. The Freedom Caucus, they put together a proposal that would have actually cut $500 million from our budget. $500 million. And what did our state legislature do? Of course, they rejected it because it wasn't their idea. And they love to spend money. So now they give out over $330 million in earmarks. I don't know. I don't know what these people are going to do, and I don't know what our future holds. The only thing that I know is whomever you vote for the House of Representatives, coming up on June 9th, which is 3 weeks from today, you need to make sure they are good, strong conservatives. Let's go to D in Thomasee. How you doing, D?
Doing good, Charlie. How are you today, brother?
Great, man. What's going on?
Listen, I just got a couple of questions.
All
right. It's been reported in the last few days of this data center in Georgia that illegally tapped into the city water supply.
Right.
Without any fines, repercussions that would ordinarily be levied on anybody else. And it's also I heard earlier that Georgia Power Company is seizing or taking by eminent domain private property for. Could you elaborate on that?
No, you're exactly right,
brother.
They're going in, they're saying, we are building a data center and we need your family farm to do it, or we need a portion of your family farm to do it. And since we've already got a power line easement here, this is where we're going to put it. And they are seizing or attempting to seize people's property through eminent domain. Folks, that is, I appreciate it, D, that is not what eminent domain was designed for. It was designed for things like during wartime, gosh, we really need an airstrip right here, or we really need a hospital right here. It was not just because. I know some places that they have had their property, because the first thing you got to do, sneaky. They come in and they condemn your property for whatever reason. Then they seize it by eminent domain. I know a case in Augusta, Georgia, where they took property and sold it to Walmart. Not even joking about that. And they used eminent domain to do it. Chris, we see you there. We'll get to you when we get back. It's the Charlie James Show. News Talk 98.9 WORD, the voice of the Carolinas.
15 minutes of non-stop breaking news and stimulating talk jumpstarts every hour on the Charlie James Show. News Talk 98.9
WORD,
the voice of the Carolinas.
Chat with Charlie.
800-905-0989. Save it on your phone.
This is the Charlie James Show, only on News Talk 98.9 WORD.
The voice of the Carolinas.
All right, let's go to the phones and talk to Chris in Spartanburg. Chris, welcome.
Yes, sir. How are you?
I'm great. What's up, man?
Well, I've got a solution to the problem for the tax. We can do away with it.
All right.
Our state has become so attractive, and everyone wants to move here. We need to put a newcomer's tax. If you move here from another state, it's a one-time 10% tax on whatever you purchase to live in, your dwelling, and welcome to South Carolina. And you're helping us.
So you come here, you buy a $300,000 home. It's going to be $330,000 right off the bat.
Correct.
Okay,
correct.
All right. You got to generate that money in some way, Chris. I appreciate it. Now, we were just talking about how Florida does it. Florida has something here. Well, let me just say this. They've got a lot more of something than we do, and that's beaches. They got a lot of beaches. They have, hell, half the state's a beach down in Florida. So they've got their sales tax at 6%. And, counties, they add on to that, just like we do here. And I think ours is 6% state sales tax as well. So every time you buy groceries that aren't exempt, clothes, hotel rooms, restaurants, meals, tickets to a theme park, rental cars, well, the state gets a cut of that. And because Florida has tens of millions of tourists every year, a lot of that burden gets paid for by visitors instead of the residents. So a family, let's say from Ohio, goes down to Florida. They're going to Disney World, going to go to the beach. They're going to pay taxes on hotels, food, souvenirs, rental car, entertainment, and that's how they're generating a lot of this money. They got places like Disney World, Universal, of course, Miami, Tampa, Daytona, Jack's Beach, things like that. Over 100 million visitors a year. 100 million. So they've also got corporate tax incomes on a lot of businesses. And then, of course, we all know they've got toll roads, vehicle registration fees. They've got documentary stamp taxes on real estate transactions because their real estate market is or was so hot. They've got insurance premiums. So they always find ways to get the money. And the more people that move there, the more the tax base grows. Now, here's the thing, though. When you start looking at that and you say there's no state income tax, people go, what? Hold on. That sounds awesome. I am going to move to the state that has no state income tax. That's what I'm going to do. So they move down there expecting not to be taxed, but in fact they are. Now, probably not as much as from their home state, but they're getting taxed as well. So that's what we're talking about. I mean, when you get more people in here, especially in South Carolina, like I said, we grew by 1% last year, more home purchases, more sales tax collections, more construction, more business activity. For some reason, and I don't know why, it does not seem like we are reaping the benefits of all of this. Now, we all know about the toll roads down in Florida. In fact, I went down a toll road in Florida. Gosh, I was trying to remember where it was, and I can't. It was about 10 miles on this toll road. All right? I went through, now listen to what I'm about to tell you. I went through 3 toll booths. It was probably more than that. It's probably 30 miles. 30 miles. But I went through 3 toll booths in 30 miles. So I had to slow down for the one, slow down for the next one. You know, it took all that, and slow down for the next one. The weird thing was, though, there were no exits. There were no off-ramps. There was no way to get on another road. It was just 30 miles of straight road. They could have just charged me at one toll booth and let me go on through, but there you go. All right, we'll be right back. When we get back, why is God so foreign to MSNBC? I don't know. It's the Charlie James Show. News Talk 98.9 WORD, the voice of the Carolinas.
You've stepped into the Upstate Talk Octagon. A few left jabs and a lot of right uppercuts. It's the Charlie James Show on News Talk 98.9 WORD.
The voice of the Carolinas.
Charlie.
Let's talk.
It's the right talk.
Charlie.
Welcome. This is the Charlie James Show.
Now we're talking.
News Talk 98.9.
WORD.
The voice of the Carolinas.
All right, welcome back to the program. Let's go to Chuck over in Pickens. How you doing, Chuck?
Doing great.
Yes, sir.
The AI data center in Georgia.
Yeah.
That was the meter was malfunctioning. It wasn't sending the signal. They sent them a bill for $185,000, and they paid their bill.
Now that's not what I heard.
They were stealing water.
I heard they were stealing water. They went in, they tapped in. There was no meter. They were getting their water for free, and then the only thing they did was make them pay the bill. But I heard
That
no.
came from
What?
Politico,
Okay. So
and that was an incorrect story. I mean, I listened to Radio Down Georgia as well.
okay.
That was an incorrect story there, and the eminent domain they're using for the power line.
Yeah.
They're paying double the property value.
It doesn't
and they're
matter.
using
It doesn't
eminent
matter.
domain.
It doesn't matter. These families don't want to sell. They're making them sell.
You know, you got to keep the progress at some point in time.
Oh, so if I just want your house, I come get it, and there's nothing you can do about it?
If you're going to pay me double, I'll let you have it.
Ha ha. Well, I'm glad you think so little of your home, but these people have family farms that have been there forever. I'm no. Then therefore, Chuck, you do not own your property. You don't own it. If they can just take it, I don't care how much they give. I don't care if they give you 10 times the amount. There are more important things in life to a lot of people, maybe not you, but to a lot of people, there are a lot more important things than money. Like the family homestead, the place that your grandfather with a mule and a plow farmed when he was a child. The place that generations have grown up that has history. Those things are important to a lot of people. Let me rephrase that. Those things are important to the best people. Not everything's about money. Let's go to Robert in Mills River. Robert, welcome.
How are you doing today, Charlie?
I'm doing good. What's up, man?
Well, you just put that into play there, and I'm going to tell you, I grew up here in Mills River on the dairy farms all around here. My dad, he'd get mad at somebody, and he'd leave, but they'd want him back and give him a little pay raise, and we'd move. We just kept our boxes packed up because we knew we were going to be moving again.
There you go.
But I'm not lying to you, but I've had the best life here in Mills River anybody could be blessed with. And living here on this hill, I wouldn't want nobody to have this hill for no amount of money.
There you go. A
So
lot of
it's
people
for
feel
the
that way,
kids.
Robert.
It's for the Hopkins. It's for the Hopkins. This is Hopkins Hill. I want it to be that way.
There you go. Appreciate it, Robert. Thank you. Let's go to Larry in Cleveland County. Larry, welcome.
Thank you, Charlie. Hal,
Yes,
I just wondered, the other caller that was bringing that up about, they need to do this for progress.
Progress.
What's the progress that benefits suffering people and taking their land? And they're taking it. There's no money that matters for that. How about the power they're going to use and the water they're going to steal?
They don't care.
What's the justification for that? I want that guy to answer that.
Yeah.
What's the justification for that? There is none.
There is none. I mean, and again, not everything is money. Not all about money. Let's go to Scott. Scott, welcome.
Hey, I know we're skipping around, but I'd like to go back to the replacing the income tax topic.
Okay.
And I think the only fair way to do that is with a sales tax increase. We talk. One of the considerations is, do the property owners pay it if they increase property taxes? I agree with you, what you said earlier.
Yeah.
It takes X amount of dollars to run the government. They have to get that money from somewhere. So yes, reduce spending. But it seems to me like a sales tax makes it so that if it's a property tax, those that do not own property pay nothing. So it's common. We love to talk about, we're against taxation without representation. But if it goes to that system, all those that do not own property are getting representation without taxation. They have no skin in the game whatsoever. So it seems like a sales tax is fair. Nobody likes the fact that the top 1% supposedly don't pay anything in taxes. Well, there's no way to avoid that.
But
They're
they
buying
do.
a new yacht. I know, but I know they do. But I'm saying the Democrat, their big line all the time is, hey, well, the top 1% doesn't pay. Well, great.
Yeah.
Those that make more and spend more will pay more. But everybody, I don't care if you're drawing a welfare check, everybody will pay something and have skin in the game, and it would be spread evenly across the whole population of the state. And I think that's the fairest way to do it. If you make money, you spend money, you're going to pay more tax. If you make less money, you spend less money, you pay less tax.
Yeah, but so let me ask you something. I mean, we're talking about states now. How do you feel about that nationally? How do you feel about the fair tax, which is like a 23% national sales tax? What do you think about that?
Well, I hope it wouldn't be 23%, but I say again, I used to live in Montana, no sales tax, okay? Very high property tax. The government has to make enough money to operate somehow. So
But if you took, hold on, Scott, but if you took that and you said we got a 23% national sales tax, but we're going to do away with all other federal taxes.
I'm voting yes immediately.
Yeah,
I'm voting
absolutely.
yes immediately.
Absolutely. Because that's a lower tax
businessman.
rate than you're getting now.
That's exactly right. I'm a businessman, total up what I'm paying in federal income taxes and state income taxes and all the other taxes that I pay. It's probably 40 or 45% of everything I make.
Sure it is.
So I'd be tickled with a 23% flat rate. And then that would be straight across the board. Every American would be paying, have their skin in the game, the wealthy as well as the poor and all those in the middle class. I think it is the answer. Plus, to be honest, I wouldn't mind not spending all those hours a year in record keeping and sitting down in my CPA's office and tax planning. It's this simple.
That's right.
If I want to go out and buy that new car, I'm going to pay the tax.
Yep.
And if I want to save that, I just don't spend the money.
Exactly right. You get to decide when you're taxed. I appreciate it, Scott. I love the fair tax. I think it's the way to go. I'm sorry. There is no better way. Not in my opinion. And when you say that, you say like, oh, Charlie, 23% national sales tax. Oh, my God. Oh, hold on. Wait a minute. You got to remember, it does away with all other federal taxes, every one of them. Anything from the time, let's just take whatever it is, from the time it is taken out of the ground to the time it is to the point of sale, every step along the way where a human being touches that product, it is taxed. You look at all of the taxes, just look at a vehicle. The steel is taxed, the aluminum is taxed, the plastic is taxed, the nylon is taxed, the leather is taxed, the electronic components are taxed, the drivetrain, the steel from the drivetrain, that's taxed, the steel from the spring, that's taxed. When they turn that into a spring, then it's taxed as well. Then they sell it and they transport it. Those trucks have to pay taxes. The amount of taxes that we pay on goods and services, on goods in this country, is absolutely astronomical. Eliminate them all, consolidate them, pay them at the cash register. And then April 15th will just be another day. We'll be right back. It's the Charlie James Show. News Talk 98.9 WORD, the voice of the Carolinas.
Giving the left heartburn. Afternoons 3 to 7. Dum, dum, dum. It's the Charlie James Show on News Talk 98.9
WORD, the voice of the Carolinas. Connect on the Common Sense Retirement Planning text line.
800-905-0989. Text or call. One number does it all.
800-905-0989.
This is the Charlie James Show on News Talk 98.9 WORD.
The voice of the Carolinas.
All right, keeping a close eye on Kentucky tonight as the primaries are happening right now. The polls in Kentucky closed at 6 o'clock, just about 21 minutes ago. So going to be a little while. And we're starting to see a few of these numbers come in, especially when you look over. What did I just do? Hold on. When you look at the Senate race in Kentucky, where you've got Andy Barr, Daniel Cameron, George Washington is actually running, and Jonathan Holliday in that case in the Senate race for the Republicans. House race, again, the only – whoa, wait a minute, hold on. Wow. Okay. Wait a minute. Hold on. That little bit of excitement was wildly premature. Okay, so Ed Galrain is right now leading with 66.7% of the vote against Thomas Massie. Got a little excited there until I saw what the vote count was. They've only counted 45 votes so far. So we'll keep you updated on that at least through the end of the show to see what happens in that race in Kentucky tonight with Massie here. Over at NBC. What do they call it now? It was MSNBC. I think they call it PMS now. They got a real issue with God. And ultimately, since they have a real issue with God, they have a real issue with our Constitution. And they have a real issue with our Declaration of Independence. I want you to listen to this because they had the National Day of Prayer. Mike Johnson said a prayer. I want you to listen to what Katie Tur says over on PMS Now.
What about this passage from Mike Johnson declaring that our rights do not derive from government? They come from...
Hold on, wait a minute. Hold on, wait a minute. Hold on, wait. Hold on. The look on her face is nothing but disgust. You ought to see it. Go look at it on. I'll post this. Look at the disgust on Katie Tur's face. Here we go. I'll play it again.
What about this passage from Mike Johnson declaring that our rights do not derive from government? They come from you, our Creator and Heavenly Father. Is this him putting God over the Declaration of Independence? McKay?
Well, I actually think that idea is not wholly uncommon. I mean, the idea that we have certain inalienable rights that come from God can be read in a fairly benign way, which is basically that we have innate human rights that our Constitution and our government, our democratic government, are meant to codify, right? That idea is not totally abnormal. I think that the thing that might alarm some people is some of the rhetoric that we heard at this rally that we are in a spiritual battle, right? That the forces of good and evil are at work here.
That's
and
right.
that partisan politics is injected directly into the spiritual biblical rhetoric.
It is.
We have heard that for the last couple of years. It's been ratcheted up more and more, especially since Donald Trump lost in 2020. And it can lead to some pretty dangerous places if it's not kept in check.
So where in the world would we get the idea, Katie Tur, that our rights do not come from government, but from Almighty God? Oh. How about the Declaration of Independence? We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal, that they are endowed by their Creator with certain unalienable rights. It's right there. In Congress, July 4th, 1776. Where would they get the idea that God and not the government gives people rights? It's right there. It said it. Life, liberty, pursuit of happiness. Yeah, it's all right there. It's all right. You can go read it. You probably have read it. You probably just ignored it. But I tell you, when you go back and you watch that and you just look at the disgust on that, God gives us our rights. Oh, it's horrible. It's horrible. No, yeah, it's true. But it is true. The only thing that our Constitution does is guarantee those rights. We have one of the few constitutions in the world that protects individual rights. Who are they protecting them from? The government. They protect our rights from the government, who are constantly trying to infringe on them. Constantly. They just guarantee our rights. Well, they're supposed to guarantee that the government doesn't infringe on our rights, which, like I said, they want to do on a daily basis. Well, I tell you what, the media, they get more disgusting by the day. Absolutely more disgusting. I will give you a great example. There was a shooting, not the one yesterday. But there was one a while back. And this trans shooter was named Robin Westman. Robin, I'm going to, this is two headlines. Are you ready for this? Two headlines from the New York Times. If you go back to, I don't have the date on this one, but it says, Minneapolis suspect knew her target, but motive is a mystery. The shooter who attacked a Catholic school on Wednesday posted social media videos and writings that portrayed a litany of grievances and obsessions. But the motive is a mystery. Now go to the shooting yesterday, San Diego, the mosque. San Diego mosque attack comes amid rising reports of Islamophobia. You see how they do? If a liberal, especially a trans, commits a shooting, and by the way, they've committed a lot of them, I don't know we got no idea what the motive is. We got no idea. We got no idea what the motive is. Yesterday, they were calling this a hate crime within an hour of the first press conference. They were calling this a hate crime within the hour. They never do that with Democrats. We'll be right back. It's the Charlie James Show. News Talk 98.9 WORD, the voice of the Carolinas.
15 minutes of breaking news and stimulating talk begins every hour, every afternoon on The Charlie James Show.
News Talk 98.9 WORD, the voice of the Carolinas.
Charlie Speaks. You listen on your time. Get the show on demand. Text podcast to 800-905-0989. The Charlie James Show on News Talk 98.9 WORD.
The voice of the Carolinas.
All right, Ed Galrain is leading Thomas Massey right now, 55 to 44% in the 4th District of Kentucky. So we'll keep an eye on that race in the next few minutes. We won't know anything by the end of the show tonight, this show, but certainly, I guess, probably about 9 o'clock. Somebody might call this race. Let's go to Chuck in Mills River. Chuck, what's going on, man?
First off, I want to wish JJ and John a very happy birthday.
Happy birthday to you. Both of them are 50
Thank you,
today.
Chuck in Mills River.
JJ, 10 minutes older than John.
Yes, every year I get 10 minutes.
Yeah. Yes. You ought to see them. You tell every bit of it, man. They're at each other's throats all the time. They love each other like all
they
get
do.
out.
Oh,
and they do a really good job. And
I've seen them in there. I've seen them yelling at each other. I've seen them.
Charlie, don't put my business out there on the radio.
They don't want you to know. They don't want. I'm telling on them, but they get in there. They're just yelling at each other.
And the talent, man, you better watch out, man. He could be Venus Flytrap when we move to Cincinnati.
I know.
I figure I could be Randy Travis because I got the hair, right?
That's
and
right.
You could be Dr. Johnny. And Anyway. Hey, I just
I'd be Mr. Carlson.
wanted to.
Carlson.
Yeah,
I'll be the
who's
big
gonna
guy.
be Mr. Carlson.
Yeah, that's me.
Oh, you're going to be the big guy.
I'm the
I thought you were
bald
going to be. I thought you wanted to say Booger on the air.
Yeah, but I'm the bald guy. What's up, man?
Fair enough. Hey, man, I just wanted to throw in there that you're absolutely right about the mosque shooting, which is terrible and all. We get it, but the way they treat how things get, trans individual, I guess, is how they're looking at it.
I've heard that from several different places that this was a trans couple. I don't have any.
I don't know. I don't
have
just
any
saying.
confirmation.
And I'm
None.
not throwing that out. That's odd because I just made that up thinking it would be kind of ha-ha.
No.
Well, not.
Yeah.
You know what I mean.
But that's out there.
But still, I wanted to talk a moment about men and women in sports.
Yeah.
Never mind the trans issue, just men versus women. If anybody has any idea, motorsports. Okay, so you got John Force's daughter. She won a national championship, right? In a 10,000 horsepower screaming demon monster. But go ahead and watch Formula W. Me and my son are Julian and I are big Formula One fans. Watch the women drive the 480 horsepower anti-lock brake. It's insane. And then think of them in a 1,000 horsepower, no anti-lock brakes, no computer control other than the engine. It's insane with women under pressure. And the O'Reilly series, they lost a nice chick this weekend who couldn't handle the pressure and just had a breakdown on the radio because she was told she was driving too slow. She got a black flag, Charlie.
Yeah.
She got a black flag.
Right.
And was told, and she lost her. And you listen to the composure of the men. Go listen to this. I challenge everyone. Go back and listen to this. I'm not saying women are bad drivers. That's for Norm Macdonald to say. Yeah. But you go back and listen. These men handled everything professionally. Bring it on back. I'll bring you a nice cool bottle of water. You just bring it on back. Don't worry. And it's like, if that had been a guy,
here's the
if that
thing,
had been
though.
a man,
I mean,
can
we're
you
different.
Imagine what
we're different.
Hell yes, we
We're
are.
supposed to be different. We're supposed to take certain. And what did the old French guy say? Vive la différence.
Différence.
Yeah, vive la différence. Long live the difference. I appreciate it, Chuck. Thank you very much. So there you go. But men and women should not be competing. Now, are there some sports? I don't even know what you call it. But let's say some shooting sports. I mean, I think women are completely capable of competing with men in those sports. I don't know. Air rifle competitions, things like that. Well, there's some sports that the twain should never meet. I mean, fly fishing. Women all in all, are better fly fishermen than men because they use technique instead of trying to use strength. But anyway, they shouldn't be competing in track and field. That's one thing I absolutely know, right? Let's see. Thomas Massey, I don't have any update on that Kentucky race just yet. But there are also differences between conservatives and liberals. And there are stark differences. I want you to listen to this psychotherapist. He was on with Megyn Kelly. Just listen to what he said.
I've had plenty of patients who hated, disliked Joe Biden or Kamala Harris, but they didn't sit up at night thinking about him. They certainly never wanted those people to be killed. And the difference is on the left, I have patients, whether they're in their 20s, 50s, 60s, and even older, who actually want Trump to be killed. And, that's just, to me, sick, pathologic thinking. You should never want a president to be shot. And, all you have to do is look at our history and the unrest that this could cause if it ever happened. But they're not looking at it like that. Their hatred towards Trump is so intense. They can't see the bigger picture.
I do. It is. I mean, it's literally, there will come a day where Trump derangement syndrome is going to be put in diagnostic manuals. They're going to do that because it's a real deal. Let's go to Janice in Gastonia. Janice, welcome.
Hey, Charlie.
Hello.
Just wanted to mention I'm getting on this, what they call transgender or gender dysphoria.
Yeah.
Have you noticed that it seems like that's a cookie cutter diagnosis for kids that's got mental issues and they're not digging deeper into what the real true issue is?
Yeah, because that's the first thing they would tell them. Oh, are you depressed?
Yeah, and then they go through all these changes, and then they find out, well, that didn't fix my problem,
Yeah.
and it just convolutes the problem to even bigger problems.
Yep.
And I hear from, I don't have children myself, but from friends and family members, I keep hearing about how they're brought into the counselor's office to ask, how do you identify yourself?
Right. Yeah.
And God bless my poor little my second cousin, bless her heart, 16 years old. She turned around, she looked at them, she pointed out their chest, she said, "You see these?" They said, "Yeah." She said, "The good Lord made me this way. That's what I am."
Good for her. Good for her. I appreciate it, Janice. But luckily, all that's starting to wane. All of that is starting to wane. Speaking of things that are starting to wane, have you seen the new reports about global warming? Yeah. Oh, take a little comfort in knowing we've been right all along. It's the Charlie James Show. News Talk 98.9 WORD, the voice of the Carolinas.
15 minutes of breaking news and stimulating talk begins every hour, every afternoon on the Charlie James Show. News Talk 98.9 WORD.
The voice of the Carolinas.
Let your fingers do the talking.
Text the Common Sense Retirement Planning text line at 800-905-0989.
This is the Charlie James Show on News Talk 98.9 WORD.
The voice of the Carolinas.
All right, Ed Galrain is still leading Thomas Massey in the 4th District of Kentucky right now. Galrain's got 55.3%. Thomas Massey has 44.7%. Let's go to Richard in Dallas. Richard, welcome.
Thank you, Charlie.
Yes, sir.
Hey, about Trump calling off his attack on Iran today.
Yeah. Well, yesterday, but yeah.
Well, yeah. I thought he's supposed to hit him. What is today, Tuesday?
No, he said yesterday he called it off, but he said he was going to hit him today. So we're both right.
Okay. That's what I'm referring to.
There you go.
Yeah, he's done that on account of the people in the Middle East or the countries in the Middle East ask him not to.
Right.
Okay, I think it goes a little deeper than that. I think what they done was told Trump, hey, if you hit him again, you can take your equipment and your men and get the hell out of here. That's what I think happened. I don't think we'll see Iran getting bombed anymore.
We might not have to, and I don't believe they said that because they were bombing Iran themselves.
They're scared Iran's going to attack their own oil supply system.
Oh, they don't have a whole lot more to attack with, Richard. But
don't
here's
really
the thing.
know that.
Well,
we don't really know that.
Well, we don't know that. We don't know anything.
That's right. We're just going on what we're being told.
But I'm pretty sure if they were going to do something, they would have already done it.
You'd think. How many ships going through the strait right now? Do you know?
Not many. I don't think any right now. I would have to go back and take a look. But what President Trump is saying is that he thinks a deal is coming, and hopefully he is absolutely right about that because you got to get this going on. Speaking of all of that, the U.S. Senate has advanced an anti-Trump war powers resolution. Now, this is just a resolution. It's not a bill. As a resolution, it's kind of like we're going to vote on whether or not to vote on something. Okay? It passed 50 to 47. 50 to 47. After, of course, Rhino Bill Cassidy and other Republicans joined the Democrats rebuking the war in Iran. So the Republicans that voted with the Democrats, none of these are going to surprise you. Cassidy, Rand Paul, Lisa Murkowski, Susan Collins. They voted kind of like they normally vote with the Democrats. John Fetterman voted with Donald Trump. Now think about that. This is the 8th time they've tried this. 8th time that they've done this. Bill Cassidy flipped his vote because he's a petty individual who lost to an actual MAGA conservative Republican. Good. And hopefully Thomas Massey will suffer the same fate tonight in the 4th District of Kentucky. We will have to see. We'll have to see. So, I know it's nuts. Let's go to Larry in Cleveland County. Larry, welcome.
I have to brag on JJ and John for their birthday.
All right. Brag on.
Yes, sir. They're great. They're great people. When they talk to me when I'm not on air, they're tremendous people.
They really are.
I have to give them kudos, though. And you guys work like a family, and family is everything you need. And I want to send out my kudos to them. Love both of them guys. They're great. That's what makes everything work.
You know, they really are, Larry. I appreciate that. John and JJ are just integral parts of these of this show, and they do a fantastic job. So, you guys, very happy birthday to you both. Yep. 50 years old. Good job. You are now when you go and they've got that little drop down thing where you got to pick your age. You got to go way down there. Like, holy cow! How far? Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, you're going to start getting stuff in the mail from AARP. They're going to send you stuff about. You know what you're going to get? You're going to get invited to a whole lot of dinners at Ruth Chris Restaurant to talk about your retirement plans and to talk about retirement homes. They're gonna invite you to all of these lovely communities. They're gonna want you to come and check it. There are over 50 communities which you are eligible for now. You can go you could go live down at the villages down in Florida if you wanted to. So you get all of those things. I don't know. I must have been invited to, I guess just this year, I bet it's pushing 50 or 60 dinners in the mail. Yeah, you get them in the mail. You'll get them. Don't you worry. You don't know what I'm talking. Don't you worry. You don't know what I'm talking about right now. But you are going to know exactly what I'm talking about in the coming weeks when hey, Charlie, I got invited to this dinner. They want me to come and talk about funeral plans. Yep, you're going to get them. You're going to get nursing homes are going to be talking to you. Oh, it's going to be, oh, yes, the joys of over 50-dom. All right, folks, we're going to get out of here. Hey, don't forget, coming up on Thursday on our Governor Series, we're going to be talking with Ram Reddy, the founder of Doge SC. We'll talk to him, see what he says about being the governor of South Carolina. We'll keep an eye on this race in Kentucky, and we'll report right back here to you tomorrow. As always, we love you. God bless. Buckle up. Bye, y'all.